Welcome. Welcome one and all to the live streaming. Welcome. Let's give a couple of minutes for people to join in and then we are ready to get started. Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending upon wherever you are. Thank you for joining. Very good. Okay, let's get started. Welcome again to this painting class online live streaming from the Glaze Studio. I am Gomati Sivasankaran. Today we are going to be doing this kind of artwork. So we are going to do hands together, and we will also learn a little bit about the coloring, the skin colors of us, of people. So that's what we are going to do today. For that, let me just quickly go over the things that I use. And if you do not have these things, it doesn't matter. I'm just sharing with you so that it's helpful for you to get later point if you want. Yeah. So the paper that I'm going to use is a very thick paper, and I use Paint On Mixed Media Multi Techniques. It's an A4 size paper that I have taken. For the parents that are watching this, the brand, of course, matters sometimes, but most importantly, the grams matters depending upon what kind of painting the child is using. So I have chosen 250 grams, and so that's a thick enough paper to hold oil paints and so on. That's why it's mixed media paper. And you can also start with 120 grams paper to draw in the beginning, but most of the time it is good to have a heavier paper if the child is using watercolors and so on. I'm going to use this paper also to draw and show, and then I will go back to this painting paper. That's about the paper. And the colors, mostly I will be using Winsor & Newton brand. I also have some more brands, so I will be using that. I'm just going to bring that right away. I will use these. Just a moment, I'm getting the other colors. So there's one more. And today the colors mainly that we are going to use is burnt umber, that's a darker brown, yellow ochre, that's a slightly lighter brown. We use the titanium white. We'll use this too mainly, and we will use a little bit of vermilion. Most of you might have vermilion in your palette, in your color pack. If not, you can also use crimson. It will give another range. That's also good. So I'm going to use these colors mainly today. Brushes, I have brush number 0, 1, round. These are round brushes. I also have brush number 2, 3, 2, 4, and 3, and there's also a flat brush. These are all round brushes. I have just one flat brush, that is number 4, also with me. So this is what I will use. Because I'm using oil colors, I use a medium that's oil based, and that is cold pressed raw linseed oil. I have poured it in a tin lid like this. I don't need that much oil, it's only little that we need. Yeah, and if you are using watercolors, then you will use water medium. So you have, make sure that you bring water along, palette is clean, and so on. The palette that I use is a use and throw palette. So I fill this as much as possible. I use it again and again, and when I'm totally done with it, then I can rip it off and throw it away. Always remember to throw it in a bin which is for painting equipments only. So these are the materials. Are we now ready to get started? We get started? Good. So to get started, I'm going to draw, isn't it? So I'm going to use this lighter paper to draw. I will use pencil number 2B. Yeah, it's a darker pencil because it helps me show things better here. But when I draw again to show you again on the paper, it will be slightly lighter pencil that I will use. I'll possibly use a mechanical pencil, and I have an eraser. I'm also going to use a ruler. Sometimes you don't necessarily need a ruler, but then if it helps to have one, it's good. That's what we are going to use currently. Now with these we will get started, and like I said in the last class, whoever has attended the last class, that try to draw it light, because we will rub off some of the portions, because we are using some very simple techniques to draw and rub off and then create what we want to create. That's what we are going to do. So make sure that it's not too dark, and also if it's too dark, it's hard to rub off. It begins to smudge the paper, and when you paint, it becomes really ugly. You don't want that, huh? So we are going to make very light effects only, very light touches only. Yeah. So now I'm going to use this ruler, and I will go over this paper, find the corners of the paper. I'm going to make a line. I'll make it thick so that you can see here. I'm making it thick here, but you will make it very thin because we are going to rub it off soon. If you do not have a ruler, you can always take another notebook also to work on. Yeah, so I can also use a notebook to draw the line. So not necessary that you will have to find a ruler if you don't have one nearby. You can use a hard notebook also. So I'm going to do another line. Oh, it looks like a wrong, eh? So you've done that. Right in between, do you see this dot? I'm going to use this dot and come closer to the dot, and I will make another line. So there are, yeah, I made 3 lines. It looks like now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines now. I'm going to do the same thing in this paper, but I'll make sure that it is lighter. I'll leave it right here, and this time I'll take a very light pencil because this is where I want to paint and I don't want it to be dark like that. Yeah, so I'm just making it for my own convenience here. Lighter lines, lighter strokes. It's too light, I cannot even see. So I'm going to do that. Yeah, then one across, from corner to corner of the A4 size paper. And what do? I find the right in the middle, there's a dot because the two lines crossed. So I did this. Okay, so I've got this also ready. Oh, good. I come back to the drawing paper where I'm drawing. It's hand. Is it tough to work on hands? Have you tried hands before? Okay, we'll make it simple. So remember from the last class, the playing with circles, moving the hand around and making the circle. Yeah. So I'm going to make a circle at the corner of this. So not here, not close to the dot or not close to the center of the paper. I'm going to make the circles slightly away, not too big. Yeah, small enough circles and not too small also. Yeah. So I am moving around and I made a circle here. I made another circle here. One more circle here, another circle here, another. It's okay if it gets slightly different in size. It's okay. We can have different size hands also. So don't worry about it. I'm going to make it thick for you to see what I'm doing. So I moved around my hand and I started dropping the tip of my pencil when I was sure that it's going to turn into a circle. Slightly slide and glide and then make sure you do that. Please don't thicken this. I am thickening it so that you can see what I have done here. Do not make it thick. Leave it light. That's one. That's how the circles look here. Okay. So I've got 6 circles. I'm going to do that again here while I wait for you to do. Yeah. So I'm going to do that very lightly, ever so lightly, because I want to erase the circles later. That's what I have done. I've got my paper ready, painting paper ready. So we've got, how many circles do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 circles. We're going to make 6 hands. That's what we are going to do today. The next step, I'm going to just erase off certain things. Now you see it's difficult to erase because it is dark. I made the pencil mark dark. So always have it light. Okay, and there are 2 ways to make the hand. One, depending upon whether your hand is big or small. If it is small, it's easy to put your palm on top of the circle and draw the hand. My hand is too big. It doesn't really fit. That's why I'm going to do another technique. So I'll show you this technique that I'm doing. If I am going to draw my own hand, I'll put my hand like this and I will go over. So I'm putting the hand, the palm on the circle and I will start doing the fingers. But my fingers are going really away from this. It's too big. So I'll not do this, but then I'm showing you how I will trace my finger like this. And I will do it like this. If your hand is tiny, small, and I will expect that some of you have very small hands, then you can try to do this. If you are having anybody that is smaller in the home, you can also ask them, brother or sister, to come and help and put their hand there, and then you can make the hand as well. Yeah, but there is another technique. Let's look at our hand. Which is the longest finger? The one in the middle is the longest for me, and I expect that most of you also have it like this. Let's see. So this is the longest finger, and then I have two fingers that are not too long, but then they are okay. And then there is a little finger, and the thumb is a little away, slightly away. So four fingers are looking directly towards at the front, and then one is on the side. I'm going to do that. So I'm doing my right hand because I'm a left-hander. If you are doing a left hand because you are using the right hand to draw, then you will be looking at it like this. So you will be looking at the long finger here, middle finger here, there are two fingers, and then the little finger, and then the thumb is towards the right side. So that's also there. I'm going to imagine doing the right hand. So on this circle, towards the main point, I'll make a line. So that's one of the longest. Isn't it the middle finger that's straight? Yeah. So I'll make a line. Then close to those, the middle finger, there are two lines here to the left, one to the left, one to the right. So that is not too big. So I'm making another line, but they are not too big like this one. Okay. Then the little one. Oh yeah. Done. The last. Let's see how it is. It's just going away from the circle, isn't it? So I'm going to put one going away from the circle like this. See, I have the place done for the circle, for the hand. Space done. Okay, can we repeat this again? Okay. Long finger, the middle finger, two shorter fingers, the little finger, and the thumb. Because I did the right hand, so thumb is here. Okay, I'm going to imagine doing my left hand. It is a little tough because I'm also imagining and also using my left hand. So if I were to do my left hand, then I will say, this is my middle finger, 1 and 2 that are slightly smaller, the little finger, and then the thumb is slightly away. Yeah, so I did the left here. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to do that again here. Long. This is again going to be my left hand. So I've got the thumb here. You can also keep your finger to see. Okay, is it making sense? Somewhat close. So I'm going to do that again one more time. That's the long finger, little finger, and the thumb. This one I want it to be my right hand. So I'm going to use my right hand. So it's going to be the middle finger, the longest line, two lines that are slightly away, but they are slightly smaller, and then the little finger is even smaller, and the thumb goes away. Okay, I have done this. I'm going to do this lighter in my drawing paper while I wait for you to do this. Yeah? 1, 2, 3, and 4. This was the longest one. You cannot see much of it because it's so light here. Because why do I have a lighter pencil? It's because I want to rub off these lines in a short while from now when I have the hand fully ready. Yeah. Got to move around this paper as well. The middle finger, 2 fingers, one to the left, one to the right. That is slightly smaller than this one, and then the little finger and the thumb. So I've got only 2 more to go. Okay, Lara. Oh, yes. Sorry, I just saw the messages. Lara, I am drawing hands like this. So we are going to make 6 hands like this, Lara. Thank you for joining. So that's what we are going to do now. Yeah. And then we will color these hands as well. Anybody else have any other question you can ask? If you have parents nearby that can help you write the questions here, you can ask them. So I'm just doing this part, isn't it? So this is the last 2 hands. I've got it ready. So I've got my painting paper ready and the drawing paper. We're all ready now to start making this into a hand, isn't it? I'm going to show you how I do it, and then I will start working on my paper. Yeah. So here, can we start with the middle finger first? So what I'm going to do is that I'll make a curve like this. So I'm making a curve like this, and then making sure that I come down close to the circle, and again a curve, so it's not going to be a sharp edge, a curve to go back and make another circle and come out. So it's going to look like this. So a curve coming close to this curve and close to the line again. So you're not touching the line that you drew. The line that you drew is different. So I'm going to use a pen so that I can show you. So this is the line that I drew. Yeah, I'm not going to touch the line that I drew. I'll make sure that I'm running around the line that I drew. Yeah, so I'm just going to run around the line that I drew to make this, and I'll come out. This one, the thumb is slightly thicker, so I'll make sure that it's slightly thicker, and I've come around. See? So that's how I'm going to make the hand. What will I do then? I'll rub off these lines that I do not need. I cannot rub off because this is now a darker pencil, and also I have used a pen now to show you some things. But if I rub off here, if I make it lighter and rub it off here, it will be easier. So I'm going to make, I'll come back and make it again for those who are missing it. So I'll use the lighter pencil to work on this so I can rub off. So I have made this. Once I have made it, because this is lighter, it's easier for me to rub off. I'm going to rub off the in-between line. So that's how the hand will look like. Yeah. I don't know if you're able to see it because it's lighter here. Okay, I'm going to do this here one more time to show you how I did it after rubbing off how it looks. So I'm taking the longest or the middle finger, making a slight curve around it, not touching the line. I've not touched the line. I'll not touch the line, but I'll come around it. Yeah, coming around it. And then go around the other line. The next finger. Again, come close to the circle and go back again. The little finger. Let's do it again here. And then we have the thumb. So if I rub off here, it's difficult to rub off because I really made a dark line. But still, I'll try to show you how it looks, the hand. So I'm rubbing off this half of the circle and the center line that I made for the fingers, which I do not need anymore. So once I rub off, can you see how the hand looks? Wasn't that easy? If it is difficult, there's another way. Like I said, you can also put your hand on it and try to draw your hand. If your hand is small and the paper is good enough to hold 6 hands, it's fantastic. If not, you can try this. You can try both. Yeah. So that's one. I'm going to make some more hands like this really fast here so that we are ready to paint off while you do the other hands. Finish all the hands, okay? So you're going to do 6 times this going up and down. Remember not to touch the lines that you drew. So it's going to go around. You're going to go around those lines, but not touch those lines for the fingers that you made. Yeah. Yes. 2. Who's done it fast? Any other question? Okay. Once I make these, I'm going to rub off all the lines, also the center lines that we made. Remember with the ruler we made these lines? We don't need that anymore now. So I'm going to rub that off also. If you are faster than me, if you have done this already, you are ready to rub off that also. Yeah. Okay, I have done making the hands. I'm going to rub off the unwanted lines. All these lines can go away now. And it's easier for me to rub off because I did not use a thicker pencil here. I used a very light pencil, or even if you are using a thicker pencil, if your hand is light, if you don't make a huge scratch or something, it's always easier to rub off. So I'm rubbing off the center lines that I made. These are what? These are guiding lines that we made for us to know where we want to draw the finger, isn't it? So we don't need those lines anymore. We can remove them. Clean up the dirt. Before you want to start the painting, make sure that the desk is clean, yeah, because the dust from the rubbing will stay on the paper. If you don't remove it, then you have a dirty paper and the colors will also get smudged. So we are almost there. We are going to start doing the painting, but before that I'm going to just show you one more time how I did it in this thicker pencil, so that those who missed to follow it get it right. For me, I think this is fair enough. I have the hand shapes. Okay, I have the hand shapes done here. It's looking very light in the camera, so I'm going to show you one more time how I did it. So this time it's the left hand that I'm going to work on. So bring the circle around. You can also do the caps like a cap. You can also do it like this. Imagine putting a cap on this. And then try to come down and go up and connect. Go up, come down, and then go up and connect. Yes. Wasn't that easy? So once we are done with this, we don't need the center lines that we made. We made the lines for us to know where to draw the finger. So we are going to rub that off. Then we have the hand. Isn't that easy? Okay, so if you look at the circle that we made, I have rubbed off half of the circle away and used only the other half. So we have a hand like that. Okay, I'm going to make sure that my desk is slightly clean. So I'm ready to get started with the painting. Before we get started with the painting, I have a question to ask. And I also want to know if you have any questions here. I don't see any question. Okay, fine. So my question is, do you know how many skin colors we have? Mine is slightly on the darker brown side. Okay, and I'm sure you guys will have different colors. And do you know how many do we have in the whole world? Anyone wants to answer? Any number that you remember? And why do we have the colors? This is our globe. Yeah. Why do we have the colors? Anybody wants to answer? So our hands or our body has different skin colors. You know how many we have? We have 110 skin colors across the globe. 110 different skin colors. Okay, and mostly, so if we can imagine our world, this is the this center here. There's a center line that you can see that goes around. That's called equator. And in this equator, this is exactly what is slightly, comparatively, closer to the sun. Yeah, I'm going to make this imagination work here with a torch. So let's imagine this is our sun. Yeah? So it's going to go like this around. So can you see that it's so bright here? It's so bright here. The sun is so strong. It's so strong and it's so sunny. It's so hot in these regions. And for that reason, the skin cannot hold or take this heat on unless the skin has some melanin or melatonin in their cells. So this is what is making the cells into a different texture or different color. And then the cells of the body of the people who are living here must be slightly darker. It's good. It is very good because it has to protect from the sun rays, isn't it? You can actually see nothing here. Oh, it's going to be really warm here. Yeah. So better we have a darker skin color. But when you compare it to the people who are going to be living here slightly up there, the sun's rays will not fall too much on them. No? So they will need to have a skin tone that is appropriate for this type of sun rays. That's why the skin tone gets lighter and lighter as you go away from the equator. So it makes sense that we have different skin colors, isn't it? It's very important that we have those appropriate type of skin colors so that we are able to manage that heat coming from the sun. Okay, so now we are going to try to do some skin colors. I love using burnt umber. If you have raw umber, burnt sienna, that's also good to start with. Anything dark brown is a good thing to start. So I'm going to take a little bit of that and you will see how we can mix these colors and make really interesting colors coming out from this brown. And to be honest, even the ones that have lighter skin tones will also have this brown, but a little bit, tiny bit. It's needed. Yeah. So I'm going to use a smaller brush and I will take away this paper. And I will start painting one of those hands. Yeah. So which one? I'm a left-hander, so I like this one. I'm going to use this for the brown. So I'm going to fill it in. And remember one thing, when you are filling in, maybe I'll also use another brush to show you. So I'm taking a small little brush. If you don't have many brushes, you can also use a tip of the brush only to first do the outer layer. So you make sure that you don't fill out of the line. We made a very nice hand, isn't it, together? If put in a lot of effort, we don't want to spoil it. No, no. So I'm going to make that finger come through nicely. Yeah. Outer layer first. And then you can start painting inside. Yeah, I've made it. And now I'm going to start painting inside. Yes. And remember how you paint. You make sure that you do not leave any space. And slowly, steadily, we paint on and fill in every place. Look at the way I'm moving the brush. It's a slightly circular movement. Circular movements help to fill the space easily without making scratches around, lines around. We don't have scratches on the hands, so we don't need to show such things. So you make a nice, beautiful brown colored skin. Who will have such color skin? The people who are mostly living close to the equator. Yeah, I am from India. Where am I? Oh, I am also close to the equator. I'm now living here in Denmark. Where is it? Oh, it's really up there. But still, my body type, my skin color is appropriate for the place that I was born in. Yeah, that was correct, isn't it? So it could be different. If you're born somewhere here in, let's say, are you born in America? And also it could be different. If you're born in some South America, there are places. Can you see that is so close to the equator? Maybe you have a dark skin. If you're born really up north, maybe in Canada, could be really lighter. Again, Africa. Should be dark, isn't it? So it's actually correct. It's right to have that dark skin. It's going to help you. Okay, good. I did this. I'm going to take one other brown. This is yellow ochre. It looks lighter brown, but it's called yellow ochre in your color boxes if you can find this. Good. It looks slightly on the light brown area. Gonna take that also. I'm going to try that. Let's see how it works. So I have not changed the brush. I'm using the same brush. I'm seeing that, yes, it works well. It looks good. And I'm using circular motion to fill in really fast. But you can also be slow. That's very good if you're not sure. And what did I do wrong? I did something wrong. What did I do wrong? I should have started by drawing the outlines first, because I might make mistakes, more mistakes. Okay. Yes. Thanks, Priyanka. Yes, they have different skin tones. It's called a skin tone. That's the right word. Correct. Thank you. There are different skin tones. This tones is appropriate based on, or appropriate or perfect based on where you are born and how nature is helping you by giving you this skin tone to protect you from the sun rays. Yeah, good. Any other questions? While I do this, I'm doing the second hand. If you're faster, I can also suggest that you start taking a little bit of white and keeping it ready. If you're faster than me, we are going to make a little bit of lighter combination of skin tones with these colors. I filled this hand also. Good. You're doing good with the timing. So I've done with this hand as well, yeah. Okay. So now I'm going to take a little bit of white. So I start making even more combination of skill tones. So I'm going to take a little bit of white. You can also mix any lighter color if you have, you'll get a nice skin tone. Like if you have a very light pink in your color palette, you can also use that. I'm going to take vermilion little later, but for now I think I will just add white and see what happens. So to this brown, the yellow ochre, I'm adding a bit of white and I'm going to see what happens. So this is the color that I'm getting. Ah, wasn't that easy? Yes. And now I will remember not to make the mistake again. So I'm going to draw the edges first. Parents who are supporting the children with their painting activity, you may also ask questions, or if you think there are points to be added, you're also welcome to. The more the merrier, the more the children enjoy and learn from this. That's good. Yeah, I've also got some more points to share once I'm done with the painting. Yeah. Thank you very much for joining in and supporting this initiative. So I am nearly there with the third hand. I'm working on the third hand and I use a different color. And look how nice it comes together with, isn't it looking like your friends and you together? Do you play with friends? You can also put the name of your friends and say, hey, these are my friends. Isn't that lovely that we have different people together? We can share different cultures. We can play different games and speak different languages. Oh, that's a lot you can do together. That's a lot of fun. Okay, I am done with the third color. I'm going to try and see if I add white to this darker brown that I picked up, my favorite color. You know what? In painting, you will really like this brown color. It's a very important color to work on. When you are starting to work on larger paintings, it's always helpful to start with the brown. I love this brown color. Yeah. So when I add white to this, it's almost close to this brown that we made, but it's slightly different. So it is slightly different, I can see. I'm going to use it here and see how it is. Can you see? It's slightly different. I like this. Yeah. You can find new colors too. There are 110 and we have only 6 hands here. So it's up to you. If you have found really new colors, new hands, let me know. And for the ones who are using watercolors, remember to clean the brush and use less of water. If you are using oil like me, use less of oil medium, because if it's going to flow all the way on the paper, it's going to make it dirty. Don't want it. So I have done this. Nice color. I love this. Beautiful. Don't be in a rush. If you're doing it slightly slower, it's okay. Because once I'm done, I will also say some more things. So while you are listening, you can paint on. So don't be in a hurry. Now going to add a little bit of vermilion and see what happens. Yeah, vermilion is like it's almost like orange or reddish orange that you can find in your color box. If not vermilion, you can also use something called crimson. Most of you will have crimson with you. Yeah, you can take that. So I've taken a little bit of it, not too much, not too much. So I'm going to mix a little bit of this vermilion to this already mixed darker brown with white. Look at this lovely skin color that I'm getting. Oh my God. I like this. Let's see how different it is. It almost looks the same. I want it a little bit more different. So I'm going to go away and add a little bit more of this and see what happens. Yeah. Wow, it's reddish brown. I like it. So that's how it is. I like the skin color. I like all skin colors actually. Remember to do the edges sides first to make sure that you don't come out of the line. Yes, I'm done with this and now ready to fill the hand with this color. Filled it here. So I'm now done with the fifth hand. I have one more hand to go. And remember, I used this dark brown, isn't it? I used the burnt sienna or burnt umber here, and I used a little bit of this vermilion, and maybe there was a little bit of white there. And that's how this color came. And now look at the magic. I'm going to add some more white to this and see what happens. That's a good question. Okay, how can you clean the art? How can you clean the material from the oil painting? Yes, that's a good question. I'm going to show you in a short while, Anna, for Emily. Yeah. So welcoming, I know that Sanvi is here and Emily is here. I do not know the names of the others, but all of you, welcome. So I'm just doing the last color right here. So I added little more of the white to the same color mixture that I did. I haven't changed the brush. I actually showed so many brushes. See, there is no need to change the brush also. Change the color so we are all the same in a way. We're all, yeah, maybe having different colors, but look at how we blend together in reality. Yeah. So I added this and look, now we have the lightest color. Yeah. So even the light color, the light skin color has brown in it, isn't it? Good. So I have this color. I should remember to do the edges first. Right. I'm nearly there. Okay. Okay, and I'm going to, this is the little hand that I made, yeah? Maybe you have made small little hands, then it's easier for you to fill in, yeah? Okay, there you go. I have finished and I'm going to show you. Um, the question was how to clean these brushes, and I'm going to show you simple techniques to clean brushes. This is good for oil painting, and I think it will also be good if you're using acrylic or what do you call the watercolors also. It will clean nicely. I'm going to bring it right away. Okay, so this is the magic. I have a basic cleaning dishwashing liquid with me, and this is what I'm going to use. Let me check how things are here. Okay, and I'll not pour it on top of this now. So this is what I'm going to use, and I use a empty jar, old used marmalade or chocolate or something jar that you have, use and throw jar. Um, the wider the jar's mouth is, the easier it is, especially for the kids. It'll be easier to work on. So I'm going to take this, place it slightly away from the painting, and I'll pour not too much, a little bit of it inside. That's it. I think that is more than enough for me. Um, and I will close it, keep it safely out of the reach so I don't disturb any other thing. And the brushes that I have used, I just take them, put them in here and start mixing these brushes along until the color comes out. You can see that it's coming out. Yeah. That's how I clean this brush. Once it is really out, the color comes out, and it's easier for you to wash separately. Do not use the kitchen wash area where you have other utensils, eatable things around. Use maybe in the toilet, in the bath area where you have a wash. Use that separately always. Never mix these brushes around the kitchen area. So I usually make sure that I have a separate dishwashing liquid that is put in the bath where I can take and use all the time. Yeah. Never take all these things into the kitchen area or mix it with the kitchen stuff. Yes. It is see, in a couple of minutes it's almost fully clean, and when I wash it, it's easier for me to wash off. Yeah, so that's how I have washed it off. Yes, welcome. Thank you, Anna. Thank you for the question. It is important. I think this method, even though it's for oil painting, it will be helpful. There are cleaning mediums available. It's not that, there are no cleaning mediums at all. There are many cleaning mediums available. I am a little bit concerned because I am sensitive to smell, and people who are sensitive to smell prefer something very mild. And for me, the dishwashing liquid is the liquid that I use for my, dishes, that is comfortable for my preference. That's why I just chose this. So that's also, a good idea to go with, to start with. That's the way to clean up. And even the palette can be cleaned up very similarly. Mine is a use and throw palette, so I'll throw it off. But if you are having a plastic or a metal or a wooden palette, you will pour a little bit of this cleaning liquid onto that and do the same thing instead of using it on a jar like this. That's how you will do it. Yes. Good. Any other questions? We are nearly there. We are done with this. If you want to color this around, you can always color it around with any color that you like. But make sure that you draw the lines around and make sure that you don't touch the hands at all. Like I have done here, I did blue color. So I made sure that I went around this and filled in the blue color. Yeah. So you can use any color to highlight, but make sure that the hands are highlighted nicely. So this is going to be a little bit of work for you. Homework maybe you can try, but do not spoil the hands. You have made lovely hands, isn't it? Let's look at a few more things about our skin colors. So this is, we did talk about it, so we will talk about it one more time. What are the rays that are falling? The sun's rays. It's when the sun rays fall like this, it's called UV rays, ultraviolet rays. Yeah, when it falls, it is really strong. We need the sun rays but too much of it could be harmful to us. That's why we need a skin tone, a skin color or a skin tone that is appropriate, that can handle this heat that is falling on top of us. And where is it falling? It's falling in on our globe. It's falling in really directly on the equator, the center, the middle of this earth. Oh, that's exactly where it is. Oh, it's so hot. That's why it's important that we have more of this darker skin tone so we can manage this heat. Yeah. So that's the point. That's the melanin. Yeah. Melatonin, melanin. We also in European countries, we also have this habit of eating vitamin tablets. Do you have multivitamins? Do you take them? Have you tasted them? So we need vitamins. The vitamins are also coming from this kind of rays, isn't it? And we need enough of all the vitamins. And sometimes when we don't get it, we are also having to compensate by taking those vitamins because we don't get enough of the sunlight in some places that we do not live, isn't it? So there's so many things attached to this skin color. It's not just what you see, it's more than that. Yeah. And you know why? There is one story I want to share. Why did we have this lighter and darker skin color? Do you know that the humans were born out of which animal was that? We were apes. Yeah, millions of years ago, we were looking like apes. We had fur. All our body, we had fur. But when we started to evolve, we transformed and we started becoming more and more of human. And the fur came out of our body. The fur was doing the job of protecting. Now that we do not have the fur anymore, we wanted a different type of skin tone to manage the job of protecting. That's exactly why we have different skin tones. Any other questions? We are ready to close this show. Any other questions? Okay, and of course you can send pictures to the support at theglazestudio.dk. I will put the link in the message box here. Support at theglazestudio.dk. This is the place where you can send all the pictures of what kids have done, also how they have enjoyed, any other comments, feedback, anything you want to share, please do that. And yeah, in 15 days we'll come up with another new idea and we'll start working together just like this. Yes, thank you very much for joining in. I already have some pictures coming in. Thank you Priyanka for sharing this. Okay, and lovely different colors. I like it. Thank you so much for sharing all this. All right, thank you very much for participating today. Bye bye. This is Gomati Sivasankaran signing off from the Glaze Studio. Bye.